Hey guys, welcome back. Ohio Trapper here. I'm making pogo anchors. I'm going to show you guys how I do my pogos. You know I run wolf fangs on all my canine traps. Well, I'm going to set up my dog proofs here with all pogos, just because they're easy and they're way cheaper than wolf fangs, especially if you make them yourself. This is something anybody can do with some basic tools. So we'll go over how I'm going to do it. I got a couple made up. I'll show you. This is one of my dog proofs, and I have a pogo. I use the bigger pogos just for extra holding space, but I make these anchors myself just like I always do, and I put them on a couple different ways just to see if see how I like to do it, and I'm going to change this way, but so it's got a big loop on the end opposite of the pogo, so all you got to do is you run it through the swivel and put the trap through the loop, pull it tight down the chain, and then it locks in on itself, and it can't pull out. It makes it really easy to take this off later if you want, or you could do it just like I do on all of my canine sets. You just put a J-hook here right to the swivel if you want to do that. I've seen a couple people run these in YouTube videos just like this. I'm sure it works just great, but for me, I don't really like that extra play in there. I throw all these in a tote, so it's gonna kind of make it a pain in the ass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set them up like this. I'm gonna use that split rings straight in. I got the trap, split rings, pogo anchors. So when you use the driver, which works great, it goes on the driver like so, and you hold it up, and then you just drive it in the ground, just like so. Works well. I just buried one in my yard, pulled up on it. She's gonna hold. It'll hold a coyote, I'm sure, but. These are super cheap, guys. I can't remember what I paid for these. Actually, I have the receipt right here. I bought all this stuff from Funky's Trap Tags and Supplies. For 100 of the washers, I used the 2-inch washers. For the 100 of them, it was $24, and for 100 J-hooks, it was $13 or $26 for 200. I bought 200 of them. So it's like $1.50 a piece to make these yourself. It's really cheap. And I'm not going to make 200 of these. I've only got a couple, 4 or 5 dozen of dog proofs, so I can use them for whatever. So it's really cheap to do. So let's get started. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Basic tools. You just need wire cutters, cable cutters, 3/32 7x7 cable, and J-hook, washer, and some double ferrules. That's all you need, and a hammer. Now, I ordered the 2-inch washers. There's a problem with the 2-inch washers. This J-hook does not go through the hole on a 2-inch washer, so you got to bend it out, put it in, and do it that way. So, not a big deal. I'll show you how I do it. I just put it in my vise, bend it, put it on. Okay, so, and also, you're going to need a set of J-hook tools, J-hook pliers. So let's get started. Let's get this crap out of my way. So what I'm going to do is everything's done right here on my vise, and I'll show you how I do it all. It might get shaky because I'm going to hammer on this vise, but so I've got a mark right here next to my vise on the table. And I just take the end of my cable, let's get it on the floor here, because I don't need it up here. And I just run it to the end of my table, put my finger there, cut it, cut that off. I think it's about 20 inches. I think that's what that mark is. And then I just I'll make my cable first, a double ferrule, bring it over, make a small loop. You don't need a huge loop. Just a real small loop, just like so. And I pound that on. Sorry that got shaky. Real easy. I'm going to do that on both sides. So there's my cable. So now I'm gonna make my pogo side to it, which, like I told you, this J hook doesn't fit in this because the 2-inch washers, the 1-inch washer, I'm sure it would, 1.5 inches or whatever, it'd probably fit right in there. When I go to buy more washers, I'm gonna buy those, and I'll get rid of this extra step. So what I'll do is I'll just take my J hook and I just put it in my vise tight, take a pair of channel locks, and just bend that J hook up real quick, and it goes in there, and then you're left with this. You know, the J hook's nice and bent, but not a big deal. Then it goes on there like so, and then you take your J hook pliers. A bench tool would be great. One of these days I'll spend the money and buy one of those. Or not. I'll just be stubborn and keep doing it this way. So, yep, you just bend them down, close that J hook up. Like so. That's not going to come unclosed just because I bent it one way then the other way. I didn't loosen that J hook. A coon is not going to open that up, I promise you. And then I'm going to take a split ring and it's going to go on the cable side first. Run that up. And then dog proof. These split rings, everybody loves them. I've not run them, so I figured this would be a good test for them. For, you know, a raccoon. I know guys like, I talked to Charlie Mashik at Who's Your Trapper. They run them on all theirs, on all their MB550s. That's what they use for canines, and he has zero issues with it. And I trust Charlie, so I'm going to use them. So there it is, split ring, pogo, done. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all, guys. I mean, pretty quick, easy. You can detach them. You can store them in a bucket, whatever. Like I said, you could do it the other way with just running a big loop and then put the whole trap through it. You could put a J hook on the end. This allows it to just completely come off the trap at the end of the season. You don't have to worry about it. So that's how I do it. Like I said, guys, I got about $1.50 in each one of these. It's not expensive at all to do yourself. The little extra money, you can buy them assembled. I'm not sure what they cost, but I don't know. I kind of enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So that's how I'm going to run them this year. And then, of course, I'm going to take you guys out on my line with me, so you'll see them in action. And I'm going to go ahead and make up another I don't know, 50 cables, and then I'll come out tomorrow and make all my pogos up and attach them with all that stuff. So I got some work ahead of me tonight. So, all right, guys, let me know what you think about that. Like and subscribe, share the channel if you want. Have a good one. It's tight change, guys.